Hey, welcome to Lady Overlander Radio. Tonight we're just woo.
Wow.
Tonight we are speaking with Oscar Mike Overland. Stay tuned. Woo.
Grab your favorite drink, whether it's a coffee, cocktail, or tea, and get ready. It's Ladies' Night on Lady Overlander Radio. Lady Overlander Radio is brought to you by Artemis Overland Hardware, Midland Radio, Timbo Tusk, U.S. Action Tracks, The Moore Expo, and Adventure Trail RV, creator of the Overland Shower.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, girl, hey.
We're together.
Together.
Yeah, and there's no do-overs when we're live, so I just screwed up the intro. I don't know what's going on tonight. I'm out of my norm, my element, you know. I'm not used to sitting right next to you.
You're an embarrassment right
We've
now.
already been bickering and fighting like a married couple,
Yes.
so, you know, it's a good time. Poor Dakota's feeling under the weather a little bit, but he's a trooper. He's still here talking to us tonight, so we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So this is our special Memorial Day weekend episode. We're going to be chatting about Oscar Mike Overland and all of the great things that they do for veterans. We're also going to be revealing the names of the 5 female veterans that we've selected for the She Served 2 Camping and Overlanding Retreat, which will be September 23rd to 25th. And that will be a great time. So stay tuned for those names later on. If you've signed up, we'll let you know if you were selected. So Dakota, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your background, and about Oscar Mike Overland?
Okay, so my name is Dakota Ogden. I am the president and founder of Oscar Mike Overland. We are a nonprofit. We're a 501c3. We're based out of the Kansas City, Missouri area. And our mission is to support veterans by means of adventure therapy and getting them on the move. So we take veterans camping and off-roading all across the Midwest.
Very cool. Thanks. And how long are your camping trips usually? How many days?
Camping is usually 2 or 3 days. But in our events, we like to do kind of like a variety of different lengths of trips. So we might just do like a day trip out to Tuttle Creek or Kansas Rocks and just go off road for a day, you know, have a meal, hang out for a little bit. Or we might do a 3-day trip to some campground and do a little wheeling and all that good stuff. We've even done trips as long as, 7-9 days down in like Texas. So it really just depends on the needs of the event and what everyone wants to do.
All right, very cool. Tony's saying, "Hey, Dakota Ogden."
What's up, Tony?
Hey, Tony.
He also said, "What's up?" But I'm gonna move past that.
We've already moved past Tony.
Oh,
there's my hubby, Joe.
Joe.
All right,
what's up, all?
everybody's watching now. All the husbands. So let's talk a little bit about, we mentioned that Memorial Day is coming up. Let's talk about Memorial Day and what Memorial Day means to you as the founder of Oscar Mike Overland.
I think in regards to the organization itself, you could say it was kind of almost founded upon the ideal, like the same ideals that Memorial Day was founded upon, remembering those who have served and sacrificed everything for us to have our freedoms. And so obviously, while we can't, physically help those who Memorial Day is actually about, we want to try to prevent any like veteran suicide and raise awareness for those sorts of things so that we don't have to remember, all the veterans for sacrificing their life. We can still partake in fun things and adventures for those who come back home and, want to be normal and live in society as regular people.
Yeah, I know that it's a pretty somber time of year, and I think that sometimes we don't always realize the sacrifices that have been made, and that veterans continue to make and people, the loss of life, whether it's in the front lines or if when they come home and they, decide that they don't really, can't really handle things anymore. So I think it's
Right.
important to remember them and to celebrate them and to get them out and active and moving, like you said, and remember the ones that have fallen. But we're representing our 22 a day shirts. So
Yep.
we definitely believe in what you guys are doing, and we support you 100%. I actually started a fundraiser on our website on Facebook. So if you want to donate to Oscar Mike Overland, you can do that through Facebook. So what is
Absolutely. Joe says, great distinction of Memorial Day from Veterans Day.
Absolutely. Yep. So who are some of the sponsors that support you guys in your endeavors?
Let's see. Put me on the spot like this. Well, Chris Holloway with who runs, More Expo and Big Iron. He's a big part of our organization and letting us come out to all the expos and be a vendor and share our mission and grow the organization. He creates a lot of contacts for us. He's a great partner. He's a great sponsor for us. Action Tracks, Casey over at US Action Tracks, solid guy. He takes care of us, make sure that we have what we need to get out of any of those sticky situations. Joe with Yank Straps, he's helped us out with some gear. Aaron Paris with Switchback Outdoor Safety. He's a good friend of mine, solid guy, runs a solid business. Lots of information. His courses are great. His knowledge base is great. He's a huge asset to us. We just after more. Oh, Midland, yes, Midland. I was getting there. I promise.
All right. We love you, Midland.
Yeah, yes, Midland. They're actually outfitting my brand new Tundra with their latest and greatest MXT 575 here shortly. So I'm looking forward to getting that ready before Big Iron. Just after more, we made a good connection with the guys at Extrusion Overland in Wichita.
Okay.
They're going to help us out with some bed racks and some different storage solutions for some of our rigs so we can carry more gear, because we're packing, usually stuff for more than just one or two people. Now, now that we're having veterans come on these trips as well, we've got to pack a little more. So they're going to help us out with some storage solutions. I know I'm missing a few right now, and I'm going to feel terrible about it later, but that's all I could think of right now.
And all of the other people that support you. We'll just group it like that.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So I'd like to know if you have any personal stories about how a veteran has touched your life.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to try to get through this. So my grandpa was in the Marine Corps. He's actually my step grandpa, but I've never ever considered him in such a way. But it's my mom's grandpa. He was in the Marine Corps, and he actually passed a few years ago from he was in a really bad car accident. Him and my grandmother were involved in a really bad car accident, probably like 8 or 10 years ago, and he suffered some really bad brain injuries and stuff like that. Anyway, he pretty much fully recovered, but wasn't all there necessarily, and he passed of cancer just a few years ago. And I think he was just a big inspiration for me. We were pretty close. Definitely, I kind of idolized him growing up as a kid. He's the one that introduced me to, weapon safety, and I can remember like hunting squirrels and raccoons in the backyard at our lake house down in Oklahoma. We just had a really good relationship, and he was an inspiration to me. And now that he's passed, a few years ago, I always text my grandma on this weekend, in remembrance of him. And yeah.
That's awesome. And you guys have a few veterans on your crew, on your staff, right?
Yep.
volunteers, and then you have other members that are not veterans but have similar stories of veterans that have touched their lives, like fathers, mothers, stepfathers, relatives like that. Correct?
Yep. So we've got 2 veterans. They're both on the board, both on the team. One of them is AJ Boyer. He's our newest member. He's currently helping out with all of our event planning, doing all that. He's been a great asset for us. And then we've also got James Castione. He's an Army veteran, and he helps out just pretty much everything veteran related, contacting veterans and helping get all those conversations started and bringing guys in that might need some help or, whatever XYZ. He's our liaison, if you will, for all that good stuff. And then, like you said, there's 8 of us total. So there's 6 of us that are non-veteran, but we all have in some sort, fashion, one way or another, some sort of a connection with a veteran. Myself is with my grandpa, Jared, his dad. I can't think of any right off the top of my head, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. We spoke with Jared back when we were at Moore,
Yeah.
and he told us some great stories about his dad and
His grandpa.
And
his dad and
grandpa.
his grandpa.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then my husband, his grandfather was in the Coast Guard, just like my husband and I. And then his father served in the Army. His uncle was in the Air Force. So we have a very strong veteran presence in my family. Do you have any veterans? Or
My dad was in the Air Force, then my grandfather was in the Air Force, and then my father-in-law is also Air Force.
Yeah. Actually, Beats' dad was in the Croatian military as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He fought the war back in, what was that, babe, 94, 95? Same year you were born? Yep. When they had their civil war.
Wow.
Hey, Katie.
Hey, Katie.
Watching. Awesome. Okay. Got quite a few people on tonight. Good friends. So let's talk about some of those upcoming veteran trips and events you guys are going to be hitting up in 2022. What do you have next?
Let's see. Well, immediately we have Big Iron here just a few weeks. That's our next kind of big event. Then we've got some camping events coming up in late June. And then after that, we will be doing some night runs at Kansas Rocks in early July. And then we've got a couple other like camping things in late July and August, all the way into September. And then, of course, end of September, the Lady Overlander Radio Women's Retreat.
Yay.
And then a few weeks after that, we'll be doing Rendezvous.
Yes.
Yes.
And actually, we're gonna do something cool at Rendezvous. So last year, it was kind of like an impromptu. I was like, well, backstory real quick. I'll backpedal for a minute. So last couple of years, we've always done like a caravan event, and I think last year it was like we had like 11 or 12 or maybe even more rigs than that all meet at my house and then drive down to Rendezvous, and it was awesome. And so we all kind of like camped together in like the same little area at Birds.
Mhm.
And so this was 2 years ago, actually. I might have said last year, 2 years ago. And so we kind of had like an impromptu. Everyone had like an inch to go wheel, and we did this night run. And there was a couple veterans that all went with us, and we did a night run through the Ozark National Forest, and it was a blast. So I was like, why don't we do this like an actual like event, like Oscar Mike sponsored event? So we're gonna do 1 day run and 1 night run. Just kind of like low key stuff. Anybody can do it. We had a stock Jeep do it last year, and then we also had a full size Tundra do it last year. So it really, you can be anywhere on the spectrum and be totally fine. So yeah, we're looking forward to doing that. 1 day run, 1 night run. We're probably going to do a Car Wash Falls route that I've designed from my time being down there. I love Car Wash Falls route.
We just took her there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a couple little challenging, spots, but nothing too crazy, I don't think. And it's fun, and it'll be easy to do at night, So we're going to do it forwards and then backwards. Excuse me. And then we've got another Kansas Rocks Veterans Day run. We're gonna try to do some camping out on that weekend. Veterans Day, the date I believe is 11/11 through 11/13. Um, so we're gonna try to do some camping down there all weekend, and take some veterans on some guided trails down there. I'm actually working with uh, Katie on getting some routes for us down at Kansas Rocks that everyone will be capable of doing, but also offering some challenging obstacles and fun stuff. Um, so yeah, that's what we've got lined out for this year right now. Most of it's just pretty local stuff, other than like our big expos and events. However, with the introduction, excuse me, of the Oscar Mike Overland community page on Facebook, we're trying to create some more events from that page and just let them kind of happen naturally through the members talking with each other, like, hey, I'm available here, this and this and this and this. So we're gonna try to make even more events this year than what we already actually have.
Very cool. Katie says she still owes you that.
Yes.
She also mentioned that at Kansas Rocks, veterans get in free on Veterans Day. That's very
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
I think it's, Katie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think you guys are doing the whole weekend. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I saw on the website.
And
That's
she just
awesome.
realized we were in the same room.
Yes, we're in the same room for once.
That's
So I don't know
hilarious.
if it's going to happen again. She kind of cranky.
Whatever.
So we got somebody else.
Missouri Adventures. My mom and brother were in the Marines. Mom always recommends the Air Force if they're looking to join the military. Better pay, smaller bases all over the world, etc. Love, OM is doing.
Appreciate it.
So I
Missouri
will
Adventures.
say that the only difference in pay would be flight pay, but
Mhm.
they do have really, really nice barracks and dining facilities in the Air Force. They're very, bougie. If you want to talk about the different
Close to the
services.
beach.
Yeah, most of the time they are. Like, well, so's the Coast Guard. We're pretty close to the beach too. Very cool. Yeah, I definitely recommend to anybody that asks me, definitely join any of the services really. But, I'm partial to the Coast Guard, obviously. I spent 20 years in there, and but I've got friends in every branch, and every branch has its pros and cons, but it is a
Yes.
great experience, and you grow so much as a person. You really do. And, you get put in leadership positions very early on, and, it's very rewarding. You get to travel, I enjoyed my time. So
Awesome.
can you say here?
Katie says, I think so, yep. About K-Rocks all weekend.
Yeah. Very cool. We'll double check on that and post that on our Facebook page for sure.
Yeah.
So how can people support you guys? What are some different ways people can support your cause if they want to donate to you or help out in any way, volunteer?
Well, what I like to tell everyone is I think the best way to support us and what we're doing in our mission is to recommend somebody that you might know who could benefit from what we're doing. If you or somebody or somebody that whatever knows a veteran that would be interested in going on an adventure or needs one or could really benefit from one, send them our way, or send us their contact information. I'll have my guys reach out so we can make that connection with them, because you never know, when they need it, when they're going to need it the most. That actually happened kind of recently. I work for the pipeline, and one of the inspectors had a good friend of his who was prior military, and he was a heavy drinker. And he said, hey, he saw my Forerunner. This was last year. He saw my Forerunner, and I told him all about it, and we've been good friends ever since. But I gave him one of my cards because he mentioned to me, hey, I've got this buddy who could really benefit from something like this, or whatever. And so I gave him a card, and he said he didn't get around to giving the card to the guy immediately, but about a month later, he went to his house to go give him the card, and he had drank himself to death. So the best way to support us and what we're doing is to get us in contact with people or get people in contact with us that could benefit from what we're doing. And of course, if you guys want to donate or buy some swag or something, all that stuff goes directly to our mission, helps fund the trips for these veterans. It helps pay for some of their fuel, some of their food, some of their lodging, some of their, off-roading fees or whatever it might be, some gear they might need, all that stuff. Our website's oscarmikeoverland.org. All that information is on there.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Joe says it's getting important to not only remember sacrifices in the past to present freedom, but also to teach and educate in the preservation of freedoms and where they originate from. Thoughts?
I need to read that again. Hold on.
He's a little wordy.
And also teach and educate. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, it's getting important not to remember sacrifices in the past. Yeah, I think you need to be constantly reminded of the reason that you have your freedoms and why you're here and why it is the way it is, and how those originated. Freedom isn't free. I think that's kind of like a cliche saying, but it's true. I mean, freedom is not free. Somebody has to sacrifice or pay, some sort of wager, and in some cases, that's people's lives.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate, but it's an unfortunate reality, that it has to be that way. But it's just the world. I wish could be different, but.
Katie Abrams says, my papa and dad are the only father-son duo in the state of West Virginia to receive the Distinguished Flying Cross. My papa flew P-47s in World War II, high air cover on D-Day. My dad graduated from the Air Force Academy in 1967, flew C-130s in Vietnam, and retrieved a downed aircraft in a combat zone. He passed away when I was 14 to Agent Orange poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
The wrap on the Forerunner for Rebel Rally is dedicated to them. James should be home soon to jump on and can tell you all about it himself.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you, Katie. Love that. I love when people share stories like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, you might want to take a second. Did you shoot James the link to join?
I did not, but I will do that just now.
Okay. So that way he can jump right on when he gets home if he'd like. Missouri. Oh, we got another one.
Missouri Ventures. So cool to hear that you will reach out to people for someone. I've tried to help my brother, but hit a brick wall sometimes. I will get in touch with you.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, just shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram or email one of us. Get on the website, shoot us an email. However you want to get in contact with us.
Awesome. Very cool. I probably have a few people I can send your way as well.
Yeah.
People I would recommend.
And I know James is working on some other connections for more like direct therapy kind of help. He's got some good connections from his people that are more versed in those sorts of things, whereas we're just kind of the adventure therapy, going out and having fun. I know James has some connections, that's actual, like, legitimate. Hey, do you need to talk about this? Legit therapy. We kind of like to keep things fun, and hang out with people and have a relationship. But if someone needs something like that, I can get you in contact with James in regards.
Very cool. Katie says, "Girls for Gunslingers."
Yes.
Have to check that out as well. We're going to take a quick break and go to commercial really, really, really fast, and we'll be right back.
The world changes daily around us. Change is inevitable. It's coming. Many things in life change, but some things do not. They're a rock, a constant, dependable, reliable, and safe. Artemis was founded upon a single idea: experiencing adventure and life outdoors with friends is a life well lived. We're here to provide your needs, to be a good environment for our employees, and to give back to our own community. We don't say this just to hear ourselves talk, or because it sounds good. It's our vision since day one. That's why we have a family instead of customers. That's why we give to local and overland charities. That's why we have respect from our vendors, our community, and a mutual respect from every person that walks in our door. Our mission will never change, but our showroom, our website, what we offer to you will always be evolving to reflect who we are and always will be. Overlanders who are committed to serving overlanders, being the best, bringing you the best reliability, service, gear, and friendship. The world may change around us, but we will not, as living this life alongside you as family can never be replaced.
Awesome. And we're going to go ahead and pop that up there real quick. We'll chat about that. So we're also going to be taking over Rigs and Coffee at Artemis Overland the first Saturday in June 4th, I believe.
June 4th.
Yep. So come over and support us, and we'll have some goodies and some yummy coffee and just hang out and have a great time.
That's right. Aaron gave us the takeover, poor guy.
That's right. He's going to be on a little guys trip, and we're going to rule the store.
Ooh.
It's going to be a girls' store.
What day is that?
The 4th of
June
June.
4th. Saturday, June 4th. Starts at 10 a.m.
Yep.
We'll be making deals, people.
Too bad I am moving that weekend. Otherwise, I might come down there.
Always an excuse.
I mean, congratulations, but
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yay. Oh, Katie. All of us admins take courses on assisting veterans, specifically combat vets with PTSD.
Very cool.
Oh. Joe, I would love to use my experience and talents as a retired veteran to help, mostly on the road, so feel free to reach out to me. I'll help however I can.
Absolutely. We will make that connection for sure.
Definitely.
He's free. He's free to assist.
He's got time. He's retired. Hashtag retired life.
Hashtag retired. Yes, he is.
So what kind of rigs do you guys roll in? How many of you guys have your vehicles fully outfitted?
All of us, actually. As of just recently, I think Jared, up until just a few months ago, was the only one that wasn't on like a true lift. And I think he just got it lifted, got a pretty badass lift put in there. So I think actually all of us are fully lifted, bigger tires, roof racks, tents. Yeah, I think all of us except the new Tundra.
So what are all the plans for the new Tundra?
Yeah.
Some of the goodies.
So the Tundra is going to be like an Oscar Mike support vehicle, like the tow pig. It's going to be basically my glorified tow pig. Because I've already got the fully built 4th Gen 4Runner. It's on 34s. It's got full armor, skid plates, solar. I've chopped the body mounts and, done all sorts of crazy stuff to it. So I don't want to do anything like that to the Tundra. It's going to be for the long adventures, just going camping, kind of like the weekender, nothing crazy. What's on the list, though, is I would like to lift it. I probably go to 35s. Probably won't go any bigger than that. And I'm going to do a bed rack and just some basic gear, like some extra fuel, just some camping gear. Probably do like a decked system.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I really don't plan on doing anything crazy with that. I probably won't do anything like no snorkel. I'm not going to cut into the fender and do some snorkel or, 360 LED lighting or anything crazy like that. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet and simple, because obviously it's a brand new truck.
It's hard.
These plans could change, 5-10 years down the road. You never know.
It'll be way before then.
Do it all over.
As
Yeah.
you know, we bought a brand new Gladiator last summer, and it
Yeah.
oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good thing is I have the 4th gen. Well, kind of. It's still not running right now. But
You
what's
bring it
up,
in right
James?
in the car.
Yeah. Coming in
Yeah,
hot.
I'm trying to figure out my audio.
You're doing
Otherwise,
fine.
I won't be able to hear you guys.
We can hear you just fine, James.
I know I can't hear you though.
Uh-oh.
Well, you
Because it's
can if you
not-
just replied to me.
The Bluetooth's not going to my thing. Hang on.
All right, you want to take him out, let him work on his audio, and then we'll bring him back
Yep.
in. Just give us a thumbs up when you're ready. Yeah.
Try again.
And that way
Try
we
again,
can-
James. Try again.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Bring it on him.
nothing crazy with the Tundra, just a support rig, a tow pig, if you will. Because, like I said, the 4th gen's already built. That's going to be the fun toy to go out in the woods and explore and, bounce around on some rocks and have fun with.
Worry about boo boos.
Yeah. So, but the 4th gen might get some upgrades here before the Tundra does. Might solid axle it or do some 40s and take the doors off. I don't know. We'll see. But
Well.
Yeah.
Are you going to I guess you'll put a rooftop tent on the Tundra on the rack, obviously. Yes.
No, I've got the Smitty built Scout, the trailer. You guys remember that last
Yeah,
year?
those are nice.
Yep.
Yep.
So we upgraded from a rooftop tent to on the 4th gen to on the 4Runner to the rooftop tent on the trailer. So it's anybody who's ever thought about, should I get a trailer? Is it worth it? A million times yes. It's
Yes.
the best. It's the best thing I've ever done for
We
my
just did.
overlanding experience. It's huge.
We-
Being able to have the freedom to park your base camp and then drive away and not have to put everything up. It's awesome. I
It's
absolutely
so
love it.
much better.
Yeah.
We did the same thing. We took the tent off of my Jeep,
Yeah.
built a trailer, and put that tent on it, and then Tony has his tent on his truck.
Yep.
So if we wanted to just do quick weekend, whatever, but we went on a vacation in January with Joey the professor, and he brought his trailer, and we always felt like he was waiting on us to break down to go because both of our rigs had tents on them, but he was ready because he had his trailer. So after we came home after that, it was like, we're not doing that again.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, if
It
you're
really
moving
does.
every day, it makes sense to have or you're running, trails every day. It makes sense to use a trailer.
Right.
Let's try to add James back on. He looks a little more stable.
Okay, let's see.
James. Can you hear us?
Hey, what's up?
All right, there he
Yeah,
is.
barely.
Well, we appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, I'm on my way home from work. I tried to get home as quick as I could.
That's
It's
all
all
right.
good.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. The day we make. Do you have a specific story about the most impactful way a veteran has been helped by your organization that stands out? Probably a tough pick, though, he says.
Oh man. Why gotta do this to me?
We got the good questions, the hard questions here.
Excuse me. I'm trying to think of any specific instance. Maybe this will work for you. So, kind of a weird situation. So, AJ, actually, the guy who now is on the team for Oscar Mike, up until right after More Expo, he wasn't. But he was a good acquaintance of mine, and he was just trying to get into the overlanding camping off-road kind of scene, and he had a Jeep. I think it's an XJ. I know the Jeep owners are gonna be like, "It's not an XJ, it's a CJ, whatever." I don't know what it is. It's a Jeep. Anyway,
All I know is Cherokees and Wranglers. That's it.
yeah, whatever. So I forgot where I was going, but anyway, so he
So he just
expressed,
joined the team.
right, yeah. So he expressed an interest into getting into this. And so I was like, you know what? Why don't you come out to More Expo with us and come hang out with us? You can kind of see what we're all about and see what the overlanding community is all about and get some ideas for your build and for your rig and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And so we actually ended up, getting off really well, him and the entire team. And so he like fit right in. Like you'd have thought he'd have been an Oscar Mike member since day one. Like he was talking to everybody, and he just kind of like copied my spiel, he said, and just went and told everybody about it. And so I think that's made a big impact for us, is being able to reach out to veterans who want to not only like, you know, volunteer, but join us and help us help other veterans. I hope that answers your question. But I think for me personally, I think that's been our biggest. Gee, people are very particular. That's funny.
Yeah. Yes, we are, Joe.
I think that's been one of our biggest impacts, is, you know, making connections with veterans and becoming friends with them, and them wanting to give away their own time and sacrifice their own time to help us. I just think that's a beautiful thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, James, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Why don't you give us a little background on yourself?
Born in St. Louis until 7th grade, and then I moved to Arizona when my dad was transferred with McDonnell Douglas. Graduated high school in May of 2001, and I left for Fort Benning School for Troubled Boys 6 days later. There I spent about 9 years in the same battalion at Fort Bragg in the 82nd Airborne. Multiple deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, and I even drove down to Louisiana and spent some time in New Orleans in September of 2005. So from there, I left the Army in April of 2010, and I started contracting in August of 2010. And I just recently got done with contracting about 2020, and I've picked up a new job delivering happiness and calm throughout the state of Missouri.
All right. Well, we're really glad to have you on the show. Thank you so much, and thank you for your service.
Yes.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So, James, one more question for you. What does Memorial Day mean to you as a veteran?
It's kind of it's just a time to remember, and it's kind of like an extra day to give to those that weren't able to come home. I understand where the common person would, maybe say Happy Memorial Day or something, where they think it's like an armed services kind of day. So, that kind of thing doesn't upset me. At least they realize that it's military related. But it's really just a day to where you think about your friends, your brothers and sisters that went over there with you, but they didn't get to come home.
Exactly. That's an important distinction that you made there. I mean, a lot of people, it's a holiday weekend. A lot of people go out and do outdoor things and have barbecues and things like that. And you're right. They do say Happy Memorial Day, and I don't take offense to that either. But it is important, I think, to remind people that it's more about remembering the fallen brothers and sisters that we've lost, and honoring them, and making sure that their sacrifices weren't in vain. So
yeah, and that being said, though, not a single person that I served with that didn't come home, friends and stuff like that, not a single one of them would have sat around on their butt on a 4-day weekend and not, had a barbecue or something like that. So if you think about enjoying the 4-day weekend and having the barbecue and friends and family is exactly what they would have wanted to do anyway. So in remembering them, we kind of do the stuff that they want to do. Because I remember living in the barracks, and 4-day weekend was coming up, and everybody had these grand ideas for plans and wanted to do all this stuff, knowing full well that there was going to be a 10-mile run on Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there'd be a morale day and a little bit of extra liberty and a little bit of cooking out.
So yeah, it's a day to reflect, and while you're hanging out with family, or while you're doing the barbecue or whatever, just kind of remember your friends and family and your brothers and sisters that didn't come home. But that doesn't mean that we can't celebrate it as well, because it's not like it's not like a wake or necessarily a memorial service, but they still need to be remembered. So don't just have the party and enjoy the time off, but you can still do those things. I think, I think it's perfectly okay so long as you remember them and understand why that day is.
Couldn't agree more. So what do you do for Oscar Mike Overland? What is your role in the organization?
What's my role?
Yes, what do you do for Oscar Mike Overland?
I'm the veterans liaison. So I reach out to other veteran organizations, and I work with Beats Morales Veterans Community Project, and I have I'm also part of another group that's big in Facebook that has people in all different time zones that helps with veteran suicide awareness, just being there to talk to people if they're having a rough time. So I try to find those that want to get out and do stuff, and I kind of help transition like what they want into like what Dakota and the guys can give to them, as far as, they might say, hey, I want to go do this, that, and the other, and Dakota and Jordan might not be super familiar with terminology or things like that, and that's when I kind of step in and I'm like, hey, it just means he wants to do this, or he wants to whatever, that kind of thing. And I also help with kind of being that go-between for Oscar Mike to reach out to veterans. Dakota is asked me like, hey, is this okay to say? Is this appropriate? Because he doesn't want to, we want to help veterans. We don't want to make it look, we don't want to say the wrong thing. So I kind of help out there as well.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Joe with the Day We Make says, I used to train EOD K9s with a retired Commander Sergeant Major U.S. Army type. And even though he was retired for many years, he still carried himself like he was active duty. Best job I ever had.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. That guy was awesome. Very, very awesome guy.
Very cool. We got the professor on.
Joey.
What's up, Joey?
Sneaking in.
So you mentioned that AJ's role is the events coordinator now, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So tell us a little bit. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight, but tell us a little bit about what exactly he does for you.
So AJ's role is to help coordinate all the events that we're putting together. So like when we're going camping at Lake Jacomo next month, he's going to make sure that the event is posted on the Facebook. Make sure Jared gets all that information so he can add it to the website on the events page, since Jared does the website portion of it. So he's, just make sure that we have a smooth operation from A to B. Make sure everyone knows the address, where we're going, the itinerary, what time we need to be there, what time we're meeting, what's going to be provided, what's not provided, all that good stuff.
So that touches on a good point, the logistics of these trips. How do you guys plan for that? What do you provide for the veterans? Do you provide meals, a certain amount of meals, or if they don't have camping equipment, what do you and don't you provide for them?
So it's really dependent on the person. So we have a little form on our website. It's just like a Google form they can go and fill out, and it kind of gives us an idea of what they have and don't have, so we can gauge to what capacity we can help them. Because obviously we can't give everything we have just to one person. So we try to be fair in a sense of, okay, this guy needs this guy needs this, X, Y, Z. So it really just depends on kind of how that form is filled out and the specific needs of said person and the trip itself. So if somebody comes and they don't have a camp chair, or they don't have a camp stove, or just small little necessities, we try to provide that person with those so they can keep them, take them with them on the next trip that they go on, and have for as long as they need. As far as the fees and stuff that we cover, like if we're going camping, we take care of any of the camp fees that are associated with the camp spot. If we go off-roading at some private park that requires a fee, to enter and ride. We take care of those fees. If neither of those are applicable, we'll pay for a meal, or something of that sort. If we're just going to go off-roading for the day, we'll give them a $25 gift card to Quick Trip to cover some of their fuel costs. So we try to incur the least amount of cost to the veteran as possible, whether that be zero or just a few bucks. We really try to, do what we can to help each person out to their needs.
Very cool. And how many veterans do you usually take out at a time?
It's usually about 2 to 3. Of course, I say that, and we've done trips with like 6. So I think the best way for us to put it is we try to. This year, we're shooting for about 30 veterans total across. I think we have about 10 or 11 trips.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try to do 2 to 3 veterans per trip. But it really is just going to kind of depend because, not everyone has the availability or, the capabilities to go on, said trip. But we try to organize trips specifically for that person that they are capable of doing and completing, So if someone doesn't have a fully built rig, but they love to camp, we'll go do like a local camp trip. Or if somebody doesn't have a fully built rig and has no clue anything about this industry at all, they can ride with one of us and one of our fully built rigs and come hang out with us for the weekend and dip their toes in the water to overlanding, So we try to offer a variety of different experiences at each levels, at each level within overlanding, camping, off-roading. That way we can affect and reach as many people as we possibly can.
That's great. And so most of those trips are throughout the Midwest area for the time being, correct? Because a lot of you guys work full time and,
Yep. We all work full time. We all have full time jobs. We have an array of full time jobs. It's kind of crazy. But we tried last year to do some like bigger, longer trips, and we just couldn't get the reach that we wanted. I mean, we had a blast, we had fun, but we want to do more stuff local, more centralized, so we can do more volume rather than, some big 9-day trip. That costs a lot of money and it's a lot of time, time off from work for both ourselves and the veteran, and the people that want to go. So we're trying to do more local stuff, more weekend stuff. That way we can reach more people.
So have you guys partnered with any other nonprofits or with the VA or anybody else as far as that kind of stuff for additional resources? Or I know you mentioned that you're looking into finding a way to bring more therapy, actual therapy to some of the veterans, or getting, hooking them up with resources, things like that.
Yeah. James has been the front line for that. He's been talking with Vincent Morales with Veterans Community Project a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a good relationship, and I can let him delve into that more.
Would you like to chat about that, James?
Yeah, sorry, mic was muted. Like he said, I talked with Vincent Morales at Veterans Community Project, and we brought him out on a trip so he can kind of what's what. He's super busy, and those guys are awesome over there. But when they have people that want to get involved in that kind of stuff, they let us know. We try to make it work through that the form and everything that Dakota was talking about. With the VA and other veterans organizations, I think I'd love to pair with them and work with them, but I don't know that I want to take resources from them. We're kind of all doing the same thing. So we're just another facet of that community of helping veterans. The VA can't take people on off-road trips. And, Vinny Morales and VCP, they've got the housing and the job placement and stuff like that. But, they don't have the off-road trips. So we're kind of filling that adventure therapy portion to where guys don't have to go into a room with a circle of white foldy chairs and stale coffee and donuts on a table and take turns, saying their name and what their issues are. We'd rather sit around a campfire and smoke cigars or holler at each other on the radio or something. So as far as resources, Dakota and the guys have been great looking at a lot of these off-road organizations, Midland Radio, in places like that can help us out. But as far as like trying to get resources or things from other veteran organizations, I kind of want to fight, and also we want to help each other out without taking away from each other.
Right. Yeah, I just asked that because I know, like, I go to the VA in West Palm, and I know that they've really started pushing more holistic type of approach to therapy and to helping veterans, Tai Chi classes and meditation. And to me, this outdoor therapy is very similar to that. So, and I know that they provide names and numbers for different organizations in the local areas that provide those kind of services. So I was just curious if you guys have partnered with.
I'll definitely look into it. Now that you mentioned that, you'll have to forgive my pessimism with the VA. So
I hear you.
I'll definitely look into that outdoor activity stuff, because if the government's funding it like that, I'm all about taking Uncle Sam's money, because we earned it, so we should get to have fun with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I just know
that's a good idea. Thank you. I'll take a look into that and see what we can work out there if they have anything in the Kansas City area.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Very
sure.
cool. Well, we're going to take a quick minute here, and we're going to announce the 5 veterans that we've selected for the camping trip September 23rd to 25th. So, ladies, if you're watching or you catch this later, we'll be reaching out to each one of you. We have Gloria Balboa, U.S. Navy. Amanda Goutreau, U.S. Army. Linda Brown, United States Marine Corps. Melanie Gravatt, U.S. Air Force. And Christine Page, U.S. Navy. Congratulations, ladies. You guys were selected to come to the She Served 2 camping retreat. It's a partnership between Oscar Mike Overland and Lady Overlander Radio, and we're very excited. Arla and I will be there with you as well, along with, I'm assuming, these guys here. So we'll have a great time, and we look forward to that very much.
Yep, we're gonna do some trailing, some bullshitting around the campfire, just some hanging out, just some. I think you have some kayaking possibly planned or something. Maybe I can't remember for sure,
Do a
but
little bit of everything.
yeah, we can do whatever. So
We'll have a good time.
We can do it.
Yes.
There's going to be some qualification and 2 crackers in 2 minutes, though. I promise you that.
Wow.
So why don't you take a quick second and go ahead and reiterate all of the resources you guys, as far as your social media, your website, all of those places that people can find you.
Pardon me. Yeah, so website, oscarmikeoverland.org. Yes, we are official. It's .org, people, not com, org, okay? 12, what?
Oh, $12 Coronas.
Oh.
I hope not.
Those girls.
$12
Those were
Coronas.
Bell Rally girls. Those wild mavens.
They are. They're wild.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey,
yeah,
no White Claws allowed.
Yeah, no White Claws. All right,
Okay.
so
We're not shotgun.
OscarMikeOverland.org. That's our website. Don't forget it. Our Instagram, Oscar Mike Overland. Our Facebook, little slashy thing, Oscar Mike Overland.
Little slashy
Little
thing.
flashy thing. Nice.
Also, search bar, Facebook, Oscar Mike Overland Community. It's our new Facebook group. I say new. It's been inactive for 2 years. We just made it active like a month ago. We're trying to connect civilians, veterans, overlanders, the whole community, just to create conversation and make some trips happen and get people connected and help people. If Misty wants to go on a trip to Kansas City, but she's never been and she's passing through XYZ, she can make a post on there and reach out and say, hey, I'm going here at this date. Does anybody know any trails? That's the whole point of what we're doing with that Facebook page. Sorry, my dogs are being heathens, per usual.
The babies.
Yeah, so Facebook, Oscar Mike Overland Community. Instagram's the same, Oscar Mike Overland. If you guys want, we have swag T-shirts, hats. I think we're sold out of these hats. Sorry, guys. We might do another run soon.
Sorry, I got mine.
Need one.
Stay
Okay.
tuned. We've got patches, PVC patches. These leather patches are on sale.
This patch
An
here.
array of that patch right there on that mic.
Yeah.
We've got an array of stickers. 100% of our profits and proceeds goes directly into our mission. Helps take these veterans out on these trips. It's about our budget has it about $100 per veteran, and includes everything we talked about earlier. Pardon me, I'm losing my voice. It includes everything that we spoke about earlier. So yeah.
Where do we
Just
buy
support
your
us.
merch at?
Yes. Where do we buy the merch?
Where do we find the merch?
If you go to oscarmikeoverland.org, hit, I think it's apparel. Yep. And then it should hyperlink you to shopoverlandapparel.com, which is Jared's apparel website.
And Jared is one of your members of your board, correct?
Yes. I forget his fancy dancy title, but I think it's like marketing director or something.
Nice.
Marketing and sales director.
We
I
call
don't
him the design guy. I mean,
Yeah.
'cause
I don't know.
you send stuff on a piece of paper that's scratched up, and he makes the design look
He makes it
much
all
better.
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2023. Got any ideas about 2023 yet? Or are you guys still focused on 22?
We're focused on 2022. This is our second full year. Last year was kind of a blur. It went by so fast. We couldn't do as many events as we wanted. But this year we're really buckled down. We got a lot of stuff planned. We're going to try to hammer those out, and we're going to learn from this year for sure. Last year was a huge learning experience for us, being our first full year, doing events like full on. 2022, like I said, we're really just going to focus on helping as many veterans as we can with the local centralized events. I think next year we've kind of got a goal of branching out a little more and expanding our reach a little more, growing like our volunteer program through the Oscar Mike Overland community. So we'll see how that goes. I'd love to develop that side of things for sure. We're still planning on the 3 big expos in the Midwest: Big Iron, Moore, Rendezvous. What the heck, Nathan? You're such a guy.
What's he say there?
He's going to donate all the proceeds from his shirt sales on Shop Overland Apparel to Oscar Mike Overland. What the heck?
Awesome.
Very
That's
classy,
amazing.
Nathan.
That's amazing.
Yes, very cool.
I'm not trying to kiss his butt, but the favorite ever, I've had my Forerunner for like 4 or 5 years. The favorite ever photo of my Forerunner ever was taken by that man right there.
Yeah. He
He's
does
a very
some good work.
photographer. Yeah.
There's actually like 6 pictures, but my all-time favorite, I'm pulling it up because I'm so proud of it. I've got to show everybody this one right here, and I know he knows what I'm talking about.
He took a really good couple of ones of our rigs too.
You were there actually when this was taken,
Nice. Look
Arla.
at that sexy beast.
Yes, I was. Yes,
This
I
was at S'more.
It was a s'more last summer.
Yep. I don't know what's
Very
happening.
cool.
Yeah,
Yes, he
that's
says
cool.
he knows the one.
He knows
And then
the
he
whole-
got a bunch.
Of course he knows
Then
that.
he also got a bunch of booty shots.
Ooh,
Oh, look at that ass.
I know.
Nice.
I didn't know my butt looked that good.
Does this
Look
make
at
my
that.
butt big? Yeah,
It does.
baby.
Very cool.
I remember that hill. We went down and then we had to go
Yes.
back. So yeah.
Well, I thought it was cool. He got the picture of all of us at the very bottom of it.
Yep.
Oh,
That's a cool
awesome.
picture.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm right over there.
Yep. There you are.
Yep, showing up.
So, anyways, that's awesome, Nathan. That's awesome.
Cool.
I don't know what else to say, but that's awesome. So,
Very cool. And we also have on Lady Overlander Radio Facebook page right now, we're running a fundraiser for you guys as well. So you can go over there and donate to Oscar Mike Overland also.
Mm.
And we thank you guys so much for being on here and everything that you do. So
we appreciate you guys having us and the opportunity to share what we're doing and, extend our reach to more veterans. And
We'll see you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
yeah, we'll see you at Big Iron.
Big Iron.
yes, see you guys in a few
All
weeks. Big
right.
Iron.
Have a safe Memorial Day weekend, everyone. Thank you.
Likewise.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.